So you're gonna hold a hand. You're gonna hold a hand CR then.
No.
Are you already like that? Are you already like that, Freddie?
I'm
That's
ready
different.
without Freddie at all.
Oh, oh, yeah, different, Freddie.
But look,
So
but like,
how can you met? So how can you met reference? So what is that?
I
What's
heard
that?
reason. I heard reason.
I asking how come you met reference to my thing but in crop over time yet, and they said bacchanal, so it should be bacchanal time versus the best of crop over. You want and use a crop over baby. So I surprised that you
I
met that
missed it
correlation.
because I missed it, so I don't do a crop over, but
Yeah.
yeah.
You said back. Why didn't know you said back and all my bad, man. My bad,
Yeah.
my bad. But we back
Yeah.
to folks. Good night. How everybody doing? Happy Thursday. Nah, and
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
yeah.
The ash
Ooh.
continues.
The ash.
Look, the ash.
Look, when we left it Thursday night, it is at no point that we would have even imagined that we would be in this position today, boy.
I was so crazy. Everybody looking forward to being outside, being back in the gyms. No curfew. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
That's why I
The
don't
Sunday,
take
11
on
o'clock.
none of I don't take on none of that thing at all, boy.
Yeah,
I got to call somebody though. It's Titus' fault and it is Cloud9 Nail Studio fault. You know why? Because then they're talking about, oh, when I go start getting so happy
Yes.
about these restrictions back out. It's them!
But then
Cloud9
when they come in, you want to base them.
Let's see talk. Yeah, I saw Cloud9, but I see Titus yet. When Titus come in, I will readdress. I
can talk to Chloe. I can talk to Chloe differently. I can cost you. I always want to use that word. I always want to use that word. You have to say the podcast. A cost. So I gonna cost you.
Oh, she's there.
Yeah, I know I see she coming. I know I see she coming, man.
How the people go?
Good evening, Mary. Good evening, Mary. Mary.
Everybody asked you that question this week. Who you asked you?
I mean,
you know what I mean, but it's Ash.
Managing with the Ash is Ash.
People are saying this is like me.
So what about you? What's the vibe in your area, though, Keita? In terms of the Ash,
yeah. But here look like liquidation channel B.
Sure. And what about you, Janelle? How that side of the world look?
Funny enough, very like in a little dip. So a lot of the dust collect right there. But for me, I didn't feel how St. George looks in like how the rest of the island had looked. To me, it didn't look as bad.
Yeah, you're right because
to me,
I drove in certain areas of St. George like Gun Hill and so on, and it looked like if not Ash upon the road, but you gotta remember you on the hill. So the heavy rain that we got that washed away everything
right in front of me. So that's like
I can say this. You see certain areas. I can call one area in particular because I was there today. I passed through there today. You see Eden Lodge. Eden Lodge look like an episode of The Walking Dead. And I have a kidding. The area so gray, so saturated, and you know Eden Lodge is one of them roads that a lot of people traverse.
Yeah.
Even when you say, all right, well, I'm going to deal with my little situation and whatever, you're wasting absolute time. So you see how the government talking about the dealing with the primary roads and then the secondary roads, they really and truly need to address the people in need most with this ash thing, because I was in my home, I can't open the place when I know it's bright enough about my rain and that sort of thing. But for me to open the place, I just invited the ash inside of my home. But my place is not a heavily traversed area. So imagine that you're inside the house, right outside hot, it's humid. You can't open the windows. You got sinus problems. Somebody is an asthmatic.
Yeah,
it is a recipe for disaster. So certain places need more attention than others.
For me, somebody was saying the problems. I was surprised that it wasn't actually too bad this week. But I masked up regular.
And you stayed inside. You stay inside for the worst of the parts too.
Well, yeah, I know, because Tuesday or Monday. I don't Monday or Tuesday. I don't roof. I declared it got her in because that thing selling for got her like cement. The thing was like cement that was selling and it had like some of the clips and it got her in the breath because it is so heavy and it didn't down. I think so. I was like, yo, this thing's serious.
Yeah.
and all the water heat all that day, like that had covered in it, and you can't even get no hot water like one thing. The hot water hitting different.
Yeah.
So
Nah,
you
that's
know,
because we
so
ain't had the sun. Don't forget about all that cloud cover. Sorry, I want to say clover.
yeah.
Cloud
But
cover.
I still have some Sundays when it was home in Sitfoot and not in office at work, but
Uh-huh.
it get different though. But I think that most importantly, if you got family in St. Vincent, you got to check in with your family in St.
Yeah.
Vincent. You can with
Yeah.
family for sure. They get me reading chat.
Yeah,
We
Mary.
check in to see how things
We
going on there
yeah.
because I know this disaster hit them hard, and we haven't talked
Right.
about that yet because that hit them
Yeah,
real
I was
hard.
just gonna say, let's we got bigger our sponsors because that's gonna be a heavy discussion about what is actually happening on the ground in St. Vincent. We really
Yeah,
have to acknowledge that we can't. I'm not saying that we can't complain, but what the severity of what we're experiencing here, and then the inches, like a foot, I'm seeing in some areas, cars stuck, etc. You
yeah,
can imagine how our neighbors are doing. But just beginning our sponsor store, Allery Media
production
Productions,
for sure.
Big
always,
up.
always big, always on it, on top of it.
Always
Um,
making me look good.
Got
check
me
out
look
the
sweet like I
website.
doing
Let me
that.
tell you, check out the website. Check out the Instagram pages, etc. Allery Media Productions is doing it big. No, like this is gonna be a big name in the region, comparable to international standards. So let's not even sleep on this. All right. Want to
Yeah,
big up Very Sober Entertainment because Very Sober, we coming back.
we
You
heard
know,
him though.
your
We heard
play.
him.
I
We
can
heard
see
him
that.
though, but we can come
I
back to
mean,
him.
like, if
We
you
heard
want to
him.
is another, but we barely, you're barely making it now. I
Barely.
want to big
Everything barely.
up, you tell you, I want to big up Sibel. Still
Nice
pushing
cut.
the menstrual cup, still here for the ladies. We're also working on our own YouTube and podcast. We may not have the lives on Instagram, but we definitely can be looking to do something on YouTube and on the podcast side. You want to get me first? Let me tell you, this is a high anxiety time for people.
Yeah, boy.
This is a time where you really need to take chat, step back, take care of yourself, and me first puts you first.
Make
So
Yeah.
sure health check-ins, boy.
don't even hesitate. Contact me first. You get your massages done, and it's not just about you get your the stress relief that you need, and with me first. And definitely want to be that trading cuts.
Yo,
Keep
big
my
up.
Yes,
hair
and then the
done.
start back, we gotta check then. That way, keep go ahead hide tonight, boy.
Yeah, I was just gonna say right.
Because I
Like,
tell you,
Until you
man,
get
I
to
hear
old
on the
because
state
it
of this
does.
man. I in the
it does
state of
say
this man.
between
Then
the
the open
barber
door,
between
then
the
the
barbecue.
reopen.
Nah, then they reopen between the barbecue and shit, I think, and then the dust things are rough. So you know what I mean. And
Yeah.
I won't want to put my barbecue out there to the left home and all this dust too. And COVID still out
Jesus,
there.
boy.
All these
And
things
you
are
know the
happening.
thing is, the men only know get back out.
Yeah, that's the hurtful part.
That's what's so hurtful.
It feels so staged, right? It feels so staged. As soon as the prime minister said, "Look, gone bread," like
It feel like the man put in a call. The man put in a call to the HAARP heart and say, yeah, we need to slow down these people though.
but
Next thing happen.
that
Says you
happen.
who don't believe in conspiracies, but I
But
tell
but
you,
child, but child, that
But the
happen.
truth is, though, Janelle,
something.
sorry that I button naked, but I can say this to Janelle. The reality is that we just see a lot of things in movies and series and whatever. We know that there is such a thing as weather manipulation.
Yep,
So if
yep.
planes could go over and spread whatever it is that they spread on the clothes to
The
produce
nano
rain,
something. Mm-hmm.
anything is possible at
Anything,
this stage.
anything is
Anything.
possible. I
Yo,
agree.
but
Yeah,
there's so much people out there with these. I won't say with these, but conspiracy theories like the Rastaman the other day, and
Yeah.
that went viral with Bongo Lakes and that other Rastaman that video, and all these people that saying, "Oh, these people activate the volcano and trick things in it," and people what they say about the late March and turning all star foolishness be
Yeah, the march part is reaching though.
that is that because you that is. But Kita, I don't want to dispute these things, right? But before we continue with that discussion, we want to invite any of you who are interested in coming live with us on the Up Inside podcast. Contact the page, contact Ari Media Productions. If you want to, you have something that's burning and you want us to hit it, and you're knowledgeable on it, come through. We want you.
We will hit it.
I like that though.
We will
You
hit
know
it
why I
like
like
Gabby.
that? You know
We
why I
will hit
like
it like
that?
Gabby.
Because most of the time we come with our own topics and we will segue into other things. If somebody comes on with something that we may not be talking about, I think it gives us a challenge as presenters, as hosts, and so on, to to see if we really keeping it on top of things. We ain't just a
Yep.
poo show, So
People,
I
yes,
challenge people to come through. Come,
yes,
come,
please.
come forward and let me have conversations because it's all about sharing some knowledge and getting things sorted out. You understand?
Yep,
Yeah, but back to the St.
yes,
Vincent
Peter.
thing though. But back to the issue because a lot going on and the people in St. Vincent also suffering too. You understand? We are reach out helping arm. A lot of people
Yeah.
that really posting it like I expected them to, but there are a lot of charities here that are sending stuff back to St. Vincent. There's a lot going on with I remember seeing the Pink Box project. There's a lot of items that the country needs, and it will be real good because things like water. Everybody's like to donate water, but they got more than just water that we could donate. They got gloves, masks, sanitizer, mosquito
Yeah.
repellent, baby
Yeah.
formula, face, wipes, deodorant, underwear, tissue, toys, books,
Boy.
towels,
I
tampons.
love
You name it, and you can
the
find out
basic
more.
amenities, man.
And you can
Yeah,
find out more of this information at the Pink Box Project. Also, the
yeah.
Barbados Chamber of Commerce is even offering assistance as well. There's even an account open, the CDMA, Caribbean Development of Emergency Management Association. They have an emergency assistance fund at CAB in Rendezvous. So if anything, if you want to donate to the charity, you can actually go there and donate funds to the actual charity. So
And
those are some options.
they didn't give
Account number?
a account number so that you
Yeah.
could transfer the money
Uh,
online too.
if you want to already don't know, I can give you the number is 3666. That's 366 366 589. So that's 103666 589. So
Right.
Okay, and this is FCAB, right?
yeah, in Rendezvous.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, good.
You can actually donate to the charity to send funds to St. Vincent, or you can actually donate items yourself at the Pink Box Project.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
funds.
We got to pull
You can
together,
also
people.
message me
I
because
just
I
want to
have
know what any
one
answers.
of my friends in the event section. Right, a lot of people are helping, but a friend in the event section, and they're also the event section community here are also because they would also be on the ground in St. Vincent because you will have relatives there, but these are people who are not just living here or studying here, etc. So they have also formed something. So you can also message. You can message Kita directly. You can message me directly, and we can put you
Yeah,
on to
yeah.
people as
My
well.
dad, rest in peace. He was actually a avid member of the St. Vincent Association of Barbados here in Barbados. He was
Yeah,
actually on the board there, so he still have a lot of contacts and so on there with them. So if anybody needs any information, you can reach out to me. I will forward the information so you
for
can get
sure.
it to the fund. So yeah.
But how are things on the ground though? What are you hearing about how people are managing? And not just we want to me, we're not just looking at the north, but also the south in Kingstown, where a lot of people are now staying as well. So what's it like in St. Vincent?
Well, I've seen a lot of mixed reviews. I know the main major thing for persons, I would say, in the central areas have been the coverage of dust and so on, and the ash, they keep saying dust, but ash covering
Ash.
everything. Um, it feels like dust, but it's ash. But there is still people. There were people that from West Team, there are people that was looting, like there are people that was doing all sorts of different things. Still driving the wrong. I seen roads that road, all sorts of different things we see happening. So you got it's a lot more than just saying that um ash falling or what's not, but people within the actual country are still doing stuff that quote unquote is questionable. So I still think that there's a lot more that can be done there. But it is for me is more understanding why they're doing what they're doing because it may be a situation where people are just desperate right now and
Desperate.
these things are unprecedented. They ain't experienced this before, and you don't know what will happen next or when release can come. So they're trying to do what they can do for no. So that's my whole issue about it.
Yeah, I think that's human nature though. When people don't see a tomorrow or how tomorrow is gonna be, they can do whatever they can to survive. So even just now when Chad had mentioned Walking Dead and stuff like that, like it was real hot on Walking Dead. But the thing about but I had to stop because I was getting like nightmares about death. It's crazy. So I'm so serious. I was just walking thinking that suppose I don't know or suppose I ain't going down that line. But the whole thing is desperation. And then you will have the ones who are going to it's the same thing survivally fittest. The ones who are gonna say, yeah, I can do what I gotta do, however I can. So if it is like they find a little nut to hide in, but then they got the other ones is like total desperation. Like if they're already possessed and they don't see any other thing to do than to loot, to just
to
to
survive.
survive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And that's a
man.
very harsh thing, man.
Mhm.
That's a
Yeah,
very difficult thing because it's only when you face something like that first and that you then begin to understand. It's almost like when somebody passes away, you extend your sympathies, you extend the empathy and so on. But then when it hits home, that's when it's like somebody dying from COVID that you know personally, that you interacted with. That's when it started to be real for you. So I believe with everybody that is here, I know things hard. I know that everybody is not at full capacity at this point, but every little thing can count because the
Yep.
people need the opportunity to get something. Like seeing that video today, it really and truly broke my heart. I didn't think that I overly emotional, but it made me feel bad because I could imagine just like somebody just need fresh water to drink,
Just water.
and
Yeah.
your family is home, you children home. I know if you got a pregnant wife home, it's like dog. These sort of things is just like open up your understanding as to the desperation actually on the ground taking place.
Yeah.
So
yo,
people
but
need to
you think
reach
about
within
that,
and
right?
just
And what got me
yeah.
even it was even had me pissed this week is because I see people on social media talking about what we gotta donate for this or what we gotta donate for that or what we
That's
gotta.
always be the
and
topic
and,
for
and,
some
and that's
people,
really
man.
few. That's really few and
It's
far
the thing.
between.
But I don't
Right.
know how people could think like that because they don't understand these situations, like Chad said, until it happens to them. And then when
That's
something
the
like happens to
problem.
them, they will want somebody to be there for them or they will want somebody to donate to them. You understand? But
That's a fact.
That's the problem. They don't understand it because they're not experiencing it. So for them it's like wait, what's saying? And that's why I wanted to speak about regional integration. Is like the only time we seem to think that regional integration is supposed to be a thing is like in times of crisis. And then even in times of crisis, you're gonna also have people who do not see the neighbors of the region as their brothers and sisters and not just as in a farm. Because even with this, the fact that the ash from a volcano that is not on our landmass should say to us, the Caribbean much smaller than we think, Like
Yeah.
we can look from Barbados and see St. Lucia and St. Vincent, like how maybe in St. Lucia you could see Martinique, and you could see going up the line and in St. Lucia saw the explosion in St. Vincent. Obviously, you can see all the Grenadines. You can see Grenada. We may not be on the chain, but we still right there. And how it's affecting them physically, financially, everything is still going to impact on us. So we're not living in a vacuum. We cannot see that because we live on an island, and just as that saying says, no man is an island. Because we live on an island, I don't mean that the other islands are not a part of us, and we're not a part of them. And I get really upset when we talk about things in isolation and we do not include it on a regional level to see that if we actually were joined together, how CARICOM is supposed to be, then we will have so many more solutions to a lot of the issues that we have on the ground in each of the nation states. Wait,
Yeah,
okay.
I you
Yeah.
you you making a valid point there because regional, just like you said, I don't want to repeat what you said, but regional integration is only be a conversation when there's a crisis and people need assistance.
Mm.
We also need to understand that in times of plenty, in times of when you got a bountiful whatever, whether it is money coming in whether it is medical stuff that we got access of, and we know other smaller states might need a hand or whatever. And this is where you can commend Prime Minister Mia
Plenty and
Motley and plenty in the time
plenty
of
and
well, look, I never
Uh-huh.
recognized that I did reciting that.
It was
I mean,
the anthem. Uh-huh.
yeah, and my thing is, I got to big up Mia Motley for that, Prime Minister Mia Motley, because she constantly brings up the neighborly conversation. You know, honestly, I remember as far back as 2000 when we were talking about CSME, the regional integration, $1 currency, all of that stuff. The the thing for me is that I want to address the people that you mentioned just now, Janelle.
Uh-huh.
People who are not truly charitable are always going to come up with the mentality that, oh, when we want help, nobody do come to we assist or we aid. That I have to say is, I can't say that is in minority, but it's too many
Uh-huh.
people. The fact that even if you got one, it's too much.
Uh-huh.
Because
Uh-huh.
you can't look at charity as, I can give Janelle $1 and I can expect that she can give me back for. I can't expect that I can get Keita a bag of flour and he can hand me back a bag of sugar.
Uh-huh.
We
Uh-huh.
got to be giving people because genuinely we see people need the assistance, they need the help.
Exactly.
and you know
And you
what?
Exactly.
can't,
And you know what?
uh
Charity begins at home. I always just hear that for so much, so much.
uh
They just show you how these people think and what they were raised with. Because yeah, you see as example, you know, draw like if you never was raised up or are not a nice person, you will never be a nice person. You will always think like that.
not
Because
knowing how to share and thing.
yeah, and it's sad that a lot of people are like, oh, like I find it hard not to share. Like especially
Very
when
so.
people are in need. I ain't
Right.
saying that you gotta give all you got or everything you got, but sharing literally started to
And it
make it so
always gotta be money. It always gotta be a money thing. You know?
exactly.
Exactly.
We share knowledge, we share all sort of different things. You don't
Correct.
Uh-huh.
all need money.
It's
Correct.
true. I know you said that. You said that I told y'all last week that I had contacted some person who I thought I would have had to pay for their services, and she gave of her time an hour and a half for free. She gave him more of her time to me, and that in itself would be a hit for me, And this not because I am charitable too with my time, energy, etc. However, I can give, I will. But if you got people giving doing for you, it's like you pay it forward because the body do it for you today, you do it for somebody else. You not do for that body in particular, but you do it for
Uh-huh.
somebody else. You would think that that's what would happen for us, but people generally don't think like that. All right, man is naturally selfish, naturally.
That's a fact. That is a fact. And
But
you
Yeah.
see what you said about paying forward?
yes.
Continue though,
Right.
continue.
No, if you
Finish what you're
what you
saying.
were going to say, you can go on because, well, one, I get company, and two, what you were saying is what I was going to say. So go on. Mhm.
Right. So you
Now,
see
even
that thing?
carry on, I just in chat, right?
Huh? That who?
Like how many
Carry
of us
on?
got to I think
Oh,
chat like so many of us got to packages.
I
I
shared with
shared them like
others.
yo. I didn't get a care package, but people shared their care package with me. I got shared. Somebody shared a care package with me, and that's sharing. That's Jerry saying like I might not need all this, but
Uh-huh.
I know people that might not necessarily have it, so let me share with them. I think of others before I even think of myself. And then you
Right.
don't even go to think of others before you think of yourself. You just got to think of others in general and care. I don't know why is it so hard for people to care.
Right. But it,
Is it
it
a
it
mentality?
is it is coming down to an innate character or an innate factor of your life because you could have been an only child and you could be very charitable. Because ain't everybody that grew up in households that had to share or get
Yeah,
hand-me-downs because they could
that
say,
are
you know
charitable.
what, I used to share my whole life and sharing no more. You understand? Then we got somebody that ain't accustomed to sharing, getting everything to seven. They're like, you know what? I wish I had a younger sibling or an older sibling to share knowledge with, or to share my money with, or to share my clothing with, whatever. So this is my thing, right? I wanted to on that payment for because I don't know if one or not in here, but Kita is my actual brother, not by blood, but by trials and tribulations. And let me tell you what I'm saying. Last night I had a situation that basically there was a bit of back and forth, and I would have to say that in initial anger, I felt like I felt like I just want to solve this problem in a bad way. But then talking to Kita, talking to Crystal, which is Kita's sister, and talking to Kita's mother, I get I get basically talk call for the presence because we had a conversation about understanding that people gonna be coming around doing things. They're gonna act like if there's your friend, they're gonna be showing you one face, but then the true reality gonna show out. And then how you respond to that is was important. And that in itself helped me to recognize, all right, with this person here, so it's just a Johnny Hole. You understand? That body got a good ass side. So what I can tell people is don't let 5 minutes of anger affect you in a big way. Let me concentrate on the positive more so. Let me left out the foolishness. Let me left out the ignorant people, and let me just continually push positivity and only invite positivity in every realms. So we ain't dealing with nobody that on Facebook ranting about or I saying nothing because things hard here for me. Fam, you just heard that they need tampons, they need this, they need that. Find what you can find, offer what you can offer, and that as a collective, if everybody get a little saying, you'll recognize how big that offering can be. And you know how sweet somebody will feel to know, well, my house get damaged in this asphalt and situation. You know that Kita saying a pair of pants, I had the pants.
Yeah.
Janelle sent a dress. What price for a dress? You know how good you gonna feel to know that you get that?
Yeah.
My people, we go really and truly clean up we hearts and we minds and just try to help people when they're in need for real, yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you bring up the topic there of the back and forth too, because it kind of touched on the topic I was thinking about over the past month of we out there pushing all these small businesses and so on, right? But there's a market out there, like a lot of people selling the same exact thing, right? And what really sets aside you from the competition is, as everybody should know by now, is your service. When you operate in a business, you have to be professional about it. You have to understand all the do's and don'ts about certain businesses and how you can speak to people and so on. Because, like, I know some businesses who are offering, like, still selling products, let's say it's a boutique or clothing, and the way they actually interact with customers, you'd be surprised, like, people are real harsh, though. And for business and you operate, so you just literally running away customers, and it only dawned on me when you had that topic just now because the whole situation we had yesterday and so like you explained to me, it is showing that we trying to help y'all though. We are here trying to do business with winner, but winner making it hard to want to do business with winner.
Correct.
Yeah, we trying to spend money within ourselves in the black community. We try to make money. We try to help winner make money. We try to create our circle and hold the other races and so on to spend their money in their circle, but winner making it bad for one ourselves. We can't move forward. We can't move forward if we in this conundrum. We can't move forward as the people if we in this position.
Still find that small minded shit.
Facts. And it can carry on a larger scale in terms of what we are doing. Like today for the calling program, but it was just a calling program. Don't ask me what happened, but it was on the road in the heat, so I could as well take the heat other ways too. But people were talking about pushing reparations and stuff like that, right? And Peter Wickham made a very valid point. It's like we are pushing for something which has happened. I'm not saying because the reparations might not have happened on the scale that Harry Beckles would have been pushing, but you would have had. They did send a lot of money to help build schools, to help do a lot of the groundwork in the islands, in the islands, right? There's some Lome agreement. That was the agreement that we had signed. So originally we were getting some type of assistance, anyways. But we quarreling about that, but there's so many things on the ground level that we ain't fixing. We ain't fixing issues with 11 plus. We ain't fixing issues with CXC. We ain't fixing issues with people still importing and stuff like that. Knowing full well that a lot of people manufacturing locally, producing locally, and we still doing it. We doing it to ourselves. So if we doing this to ourselves, right? We you keep looking outside and saying, "Oh, but this here happening," and but the white people did this and the next thing, and the one give me this and that. But when us we are pulling out each other all the time, and that's where we have to stop. I know it's we talk about this, Chad, the whole retraining of how people think and stuff like that, right? But if each of us started to change how we are thinking and approaching life, facing the negativity in ourselves and dispelling it, right? Doing what we gotta do when it comes to local and regional support, the Caribbean will be so far. It will be so far if we use our own people. We have enough people who are. You don't have to have a degree in Barbados when it comes to agriculture. There are people who know agriculture all, ain't got no degree, but them can't get no job in the ministry unless they're cleaning the side of the road. You understand? You looking and you say you can bring in this body next, this whatever technology expert or whatever. When you got people here who can do same work for better and even for less, but we don't see it that way because we don't see ourselves as being important, being the ones that can do.
Being assets.
Right, exactly. We don't see ourselves like that. And it is not going to change until we all face ourselves and say, you know what, well, I contributing to the problem. Like when they used to go up with the Phillips water and they stopped. I tell myself, but you can't support importing water. I don't drink water from the tap. When you got people producing water in Barbados or in Trinidad or in Jamaica, you can't do that. You gotta stop. So I face myself with that. A lot of people think, oh, well, I can buy the local water. They must be from the tap.
I understand where you're coming from, but this is what you say too. You see, what you're calling for is gonna have to. Yes, it is simple to say we can go and look at ourselves in the mirror and change the mentality. But you know what? One of my favorite words, accountability, to recognize that you may be one of those people that are part of the problem. And in order to become a part of the solution, you have to hold yourself accountable to your thoughts and your actions. So with the same situation last night, accountability was not recognized. You wanted to find a loophole to make yourself right. And I find that's where a lot of people, especially people that are of a certain age, care to live. They don't want to, I am wrong. Let me just apologize. I met wrong things right. I want to continually frustrate and agitate the conversation. So you gonna keep arguing till you find an end to be right. So that's what we're battling against, dog. We're battling against people who are older or at an age that you should have maturity, but they're not exhibiting or showing or employing the maturity, because maturity levels call for, you know what? I was wrong. You know what? I apologize. You know what? I am sorry about that. I want to do better. That there so gonna get me so much further than any conversation about retraining, any conversation about what is called that there, so no seminars, all of that shit. We don't need it. All we need is my favorite A word, and it's not us, but I like us. It's accountability. Accountability is
I know that now for real. No, I agree 100% on that point for real though. We need to be more accountable to ourselves. And not just ourselves, but to our fellow man. Just reading back some of the comments. We have missed some comments as we were going though, but I speak of saying about the water. When you follow a store by my workplace, so beige and water, I get buy another sense. You see, so we have to we got to do better. We got to be more accountable though. We
Yeah, that's a fact.
in all areas of our life. Make us how we spend our money, the decisions that we make, and stuff like that. But like people that don't, yes, they don't want back down for certain things and be wrong and strong. But we got to do better though. Um,
It's an ugly trip. Sure. Being wrong is strong. It's definitely an ugly trip. And then you just put yourself in this position where you're trying to fake it to make it, especially when you know that you're wrong.
yeah,
And it because honestly, like I could feel what y'all getting through last night, especially having known the whole situation and see how it played out. But people like to put themselves in a position. And the funny thing with that, right? And that's how life is. Where energy, that you would do all that, right? And put all that negativity in your ear and it can come back to you. If it don't come back to you, the shower reality is come back to your children. Or it come back
yeah,
to somebody close to you. And you
Right.
don't want that on you. You don't want that in your life. So that's our thing.
great those teams.
Stay for home with that for sure. It's better to, especially in child situation, as we tell child last night, it's better to say, all right, I ain't come my little losses here. I can do what I
Yeah.
got to do. With knowing that I got my little some money that I ain't going to do nothing foolish to
Right.
nobody. And move on with the situation and use that as a block to learn from.
That's
Understand?
a
Because
fact.
you know, in business, every day you learn something different in business. And
That's a
that's how you
fact.
learn.
That is
That's
a fact. Well, I'm gonna tell you something. You know, when you just when you calm down after a bad situation, and you recognize what could have possibly took place, it is help you to recognize that truly mature or maturity to take a step back and not act on impulse. And it's very hard not to act on impulse when you're going through an array of emotion. So I do activate, or people should start to activate common sense. Sorry, exclusive sense. And
Comment. It's a comment.
yeah, it ain't common at all. So I want to challenge everybody out there. Whenever saying take place and you're upset, you're sad, you're angry, you're all of them things mixed up together, try not to talk, try not to act. Just let yourself calm down and try to reach out to somebody. Cause I will say this. I was supposed to go by Keita Wednesday. Keita showed me and tell me, Chad, I can't deal with Wednesday. We could work on tomorrow. And look how Thursday sorry. Look how Wednesday text wait, what really? Right, right.
Tuesday.
No,
It was
look
supposed to be
how right. It
Tuesday.
was supposed to be Tuesday,
Tuesday,
right?
and
I
he tell
can't
you
go with the
Wednesday.
and they tell me Wednesday. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, Boxy got me. So when it took place is like look at how life does work out. Because I had people around me to talk to me that I could have then used as an outlet for my frustration and vent. So that they could let me know what y'all ain't you that going off. You understand? Cause sometimes that's why and I think it was last week that I mentioned about having an outlet. It was last
Yeah.
week.
We're talking about mental health. Yeah.
Right.
That's it.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
so it really goes to show you, right? I love how we just talk about things and then I just go through something, or Janelle's go through something, or Keita's go through something, and then we could give a working example as to
Yeah,
what it is that we talking about and share that with one another. It's really important.
definitely.
And just
But
big up yourself.
even with your experience, and when you were talking just now, it took me back to the people in St. Vincent and the desperation that
Uh,
some people may be feeling right now. So like they're not taking a moment to stop and think or anything like that because it's like what you know talk about flight or freight. It's like you in that
uh,
position
uh.
where it's like your head hot, you don't know what to
Either
do,
ready
where
to
next
fight
to
and
turn.
flight. Either ready to flight, don't
Exactly.
dare fight.
But you were able to, but you had somebody to talk to you or whatever. But you have persons in this position here, and it's events is like, but they may see anybody else to talk to. They may see the government, or the government talking to them about is getting a vaccine. They may talking to them about what food or whatever they can provide for them or what, you know. So it's like,
Aye.
this is all they could do. The best thing for me to do right now is do. Because if I hearing, and not saying that's all he's talking about, but I hear it a lot still. Now he, you want the people with COVID to make sure the people who ain't got it, and then you got that large scale health issue now to deal
Right.
with as well. But in my mind, you got people on roofs cleaning off inches of ash with no mask or anything like that.
And
That
people will say barefoot and thing too, yeah.
already.
That's what's got me.
So in my mind, it's like no wonder the people then is like almost in that stage of desperation because
Yeah.
you may be, and I'm not on the ground, I'm not there, but I am seeing my knees being one way, and I'm
Uh-huh.
hearing the government and the people in the society moving in a different way are talking about other things that I'm concerned right now. I want something to eat, I want water, I need these things or whatever. I need
Uh-huh.
help cleaning, I want you. But some people not leaving the issues.
Yeah.
I got my weed on the side of the mountain there, so now that thing, I ain't got no means of income for the next six
How much ever months?
exactly.
Yeah. They're rough with them, for sure.
There's like a fresh COVID lockdown, but without COVID.
Correct.
But I got a question for you though, Janelle. You
Yes.
got a dryer?
Listen to me. I was saying the same thing. No, I don't. Look, people want car covers and I want nothing. I want a
You know
dryer
what I'm
to
saying?
dry my clothes. I want a cover for the car. I want a power washer for the house. I want to dry my clothes. What you ask? I don't cook it. I got one.
Yeah,
Jeez, oh,
but
Brad.
but
Yeah.
I can
I got
show
one.
you.
Put it.
No, why I asked that question was because it's like another inconvenience that you can't ever wash your clothes and hang them out because ash moving around. That's one thing.
Exactly.
So then let me imagine people that literally covered in ash, roads, houses, everything. It's like that is seemed like a completely minor inconvenience compared to what guy like when you start to really line up everything. That was the first question. I gotta remember was the second one. My love, I hate my brain. My brain like a slip on things, you know. It was something else I don't want to ask you. No, it was a full question. I can't. Oh, we were talking about the vaccine. We were talking about vaccines and things. By any chance, what was the vaccine rollout in St. Vincent and the Grenadines not being accepted like how other nations were? Because I would hate to know that it was like, again, the AstraZeneca vaccines and whatever, but people ain't really coming forward and like, yeah, I want it, like how Beijing was lining up for it.
Yes,
So,
yes,
so that's bring another dynamic into it because like,
yeah.
how could you be putting vaccine rollouts ahead of people actually eating and surviving and being safe, access to clean water, blah blah blah. So it got me wondering now, like, I want to ask this question. What was the situation of the vaccine rollout? Were people not really, like accepting it? Were people not interested in going forward? Were they not getting the receiving that they were expecting? I want to know what's going on.
I think that what you just said, I think that the turnout would have been much lower. The percentage of what he was quoting the day before the volcanic eruption, when the activity had heightened, the percentage of the persons, well, when he had said like only 17% some started this body and whatever, where we were getting much larger turnout
Uh-huh.
of people in the beginning. So I feel like and I can tell like leading the country can be easy. So he might be between a rock and a hard place because you gotta be dealing with the health of the people when it comes to COVID and them not protecting themselves so they could get that whole um more people protected than not or not protected. So I feel that he is thinking, or he was thinking, that not many people were coming out to deal with that COVID thing, and now we have people now in small areas together in the shelters and stuff like that. So because many people were not subscribing to it before, that means that you're gonna have an even bigger case of it multiplying and it becoming what we call it community spread. So and I find there were a number of Caribbean countries that
Uh-huh.
were not and that are not subscribing to it as much as the Bajans have. It seems that way. The Grenada, the Prime Minister was saying a few months ago, he was saying no to the COVID vaccine and he ain't gonna be forcing nobody or nothing. And this week here now, all the hoteliers gonna get it. All the hotel workers gonna get the COVID vaccine. I don't think this like mm, I think don't like that because that's a financial thing. But I digress. Kita, what do you think?
Nah,
Keita?
I
Keita?
understand where you came from. I was laughing at Chloe in the chat because she was saying that she get a course, and I always want to use the word course in this chat, but she get a course because we a
Yeah.
course because she after his last we talked to
And you see
we
Titus
can
left
have
she
a
for
girl
dead.
freedom.
And here
Yeah,
tonight.
but
She
Titus
going
is
following a
the box,
nasty gang
right?
and get left by she's
Yeah, but yeah, that's real talk, though. I agree, man. It's sad to say whether we like it or not. The different angles that everybody coming to you from with the vaccine. Yeah, even if you don't want to take it, you getting fed all these images in your head mentally from different angles that you go attack it though. Like you can't let it. Oh, you want left to Vincent, you want good experience, you go attack it though. You want to
and
teach,
then
you
and
want
then
work,
the and then the
you
thing
want
ain't
that
making
money,
the sport ain't
you go
making
attack
the
it.
sense. Ain't making the sense. Like 1 minute you hearing that it is the cruise ships stating so, then the cruise ships come out and say and then
Is the
it gotta
government?
be the government. Then the government coming out and saying there gotta be some sort of misunderstanding because we ain't say
Obviously.
so. I like who taking yet again my favorite A word. Where's the accountability?
Accountability.
Nobody
Where
ain't
is
gonna
it?
help. Yeah,
So I
that
would
word
like
was
we gotta
very
find out that though. We gotta find that out. If
yeah, we
I
gotta do
the
so we
rollout
gotta do
for the
some we
vaccine
gotta
was
do
not as
some
well received.
so we gotta do some investigative journalism. Is that what you saying?
Say that again?
I
We
ain't here
we got
though. Sorry,
we
not that I don't care, but
we gotta do some investigating. We journalists know.
Yeah, we can go and do
I
it.
Well, I
It's
know
like the people.
I can leave that for Chad. I
we
can
could be
leave that
journalists,
for
man.
Chad.
We could be
It's
journalists.
like
So
people.
The
I just
results.
don't want to be certain journalists. I don't want to be journalists that ask foolish questions in press conferences. I could be a journalist though, but I won't ask some foolish questions.
I listen.
So
I do not
so
agree with that.
the honorable minister of Southeast Christchurch West. I just wanted to know when do you think the ash is gonna leave us?
Somebody asked that for truth.
Nah, that's
Now,
just
Oh,
me
this is a
being that
random
just
question.
yeah, that
oh.
was yeah.
Sorry, that was my
Yeah,
head. Sorry, Chad.
it's like basically
Yeah.
there's just ask a bunch of questions that don't challenge the things and it's honestly it sometimes feel like if me and Motley just come and address the questions that people want answered. So it has left the journalists like, because you know, for me, journalism is all about being able to think on the fly.
Yeah.
So if you had a particular question that was addressed by the minister before you could get to it, you gotta start thinking like, what else could I
Like an ox, yeah.
ask here to
Yes.
make myself? And I
Or
mean,
how can
like,
it change, or how can it
Yes.
adjust that question in the format to
yeah,
get more
Yes.
it feel like they
out?
don't be prepared.
But just be
It's
like,
like I still
I
have
got
these
this
list of
question.
questions.
I got this question right on a piece of paper. I want to ask them before you
I
answer it.
want to ask them. You must answer my
I want to ask
questions.
I just I don't get it.
You're
I
right.
don't know. I
Somebody
guess
said,
I'd be harsh on the journalism or the journalist about here. We need more active people asking the right questions and
you
even
see me?
asking questions sometimes because I like all of a sudden COVID like it don't exist no more.
I speak
Like
love
it,
said, anybody can be a journalist at this point. And I agree. That's
And
what it is.
I was going to say that too. What I speak love said because in this information age, right? You have not saying that everybody study information and really like use it properly because as we all say, you know that common sense is a comment. But you have people who are more in touch with information and questions. And as Chad alluded to, maybe the Prime Minister is coming with a plethora of information as it stands,
that's a nice word.
then yes. So then the journalists don't have that much to really think. They could just report. You know what? End up being reporters more so than anything else because all they could do is just report on information that is put out there. Because you know, as it is, people got them own way of taking things. You see them two dogs and I'm saying to have the dogs $2 in the road and then one went behind the fence and start barking at the other dog that
Yeah,
was sitting
yeah,
in
yeah.
the
You see
road.
that?
it was right next to the dog and stuff like that. And like that's how society is, you know. It's like we could be there saying things, but we just wait till after the fact and start carrying on about things. So I don't know
Yeah,
about journalists go back to school.
I see Cloud9 and Sherry here agreeing about, but can they ask those questions? Maybe they're asking pre-approved. This is another thing that we see whenever they have press conferences overseas on CNN. We
Uh-huh.
have to know that these presidents and whatever this are these people that addressing nations and whatever do have stipulations to the journalists. But there's got some journalists that's word the question in such a way that they're asking the same
Right.
question that they said don't ask.
Yeah. And that
We
was
don't
shouldn't
have
be
that
done.
We
dynamic.
have those.
And that
We
was
don't have
shouldn't be
that
done.
dynamic because
That shouldn't be done.
everybody like they're frightened to be a video now because Ian Bourne was a video the other day with Mia Motley. What is actually to tell you that to do it, like common sense something or the other.
Reveal. That conversation revealed. And
Right. So I feel like people like they're frightened to ask certain questions. One, because they can probably get what is called it victimized. And then the next thing is that
but
they
before you
just
start, what you would respond and say if you were asked that question as the prime minister?
repeat that. Sorry, I didn't hear.
No, what would you if you were the prime minister, right?
Uh-huh.
How you would have replied to that question? Like how you would have responded to a question in that format? Like in one instance,
That's where truth does come. That's where truth does come because if, for example, you tell me don't ask about the Ash situation, I will find a very
nah.
strategic way to ask that question.
But I don't think that is a situation where you were told not to
Uh-huh.
ask about the Ash situation. It's
Uh-huh.
more
No,
because it was a whole press conference with regards to Ash and this sort of stuff.
no, I was using that as an example.
Oh,
I just mean like
oh,
if they told people don't ask about it, but then you found a strategic way to ask the question alluding to the fact,
yeah,
then you catch the person off guard. So
Uh-huh.
it's like when and if you was a person that could read body language and facial expression, you will be able to see, oh, so you wasn't prepared for this. You wasn't prepared to answer such a serious question or a pertinent question. But they're not challenged. They ain't challenged.
but people in chat though, me ask people in chat. Oh, you
Right.
all
Incline your heart to common sense. Right.
you I love that. I love
That's
that.
funny though.
I got rid. I don't. I
That
got rid.
hard though.
That hurt. That hurt.
Yeah.
But
But I don't
I
go
want
ahead
people
and
in
jump
chat
on
though, like how you all feel though about it. Like you all feel as though the question was a foolish question, or you all feel as though it could have been worded differently and it would probably have the same input, or you feel as though the answer wasn't warranted the actual response to the question, like it could have been responded differently. Because
Well,
that,
I
that
know many people said I think I really think that if it was worded a little differently, that the point would have come across because, as I said, I disclaimer: I do not watch the press conferences.
but right.
Based on what I had
But I
read,
agree with Rico. I agree with Rico 100%. Rico said that sometimes people talk to be present and not to have a contribution.
that's so true.
And that's how
Person,
like,
person
the
in
context
question.
of that question was like, I don't know if he is or the reporter involved in any charities or involved in any I don't want to dyslexic, but association for people that are underprivileged or in a situation where they can't think for themselves, right? It's where he got asked a question that might not necessarily be clear for the regular or the normal human being or somebody that's not necessarily in your right mind to have an understanding for them. But for the person that should have common sense, or which child is called it? Not common sense, what's the other word?
Exclusive.
Exclusive sense. For the person that should got common sense or exclusive sense, you would know, well, yo, this is Ash. This is serious. Like, yeah, you ain't supposed to go say, but you still gotta do certain things around your house. You ain't gonna let the Ash get to a certain stage where, like, child boy, the Ash blocking me from driving up my car, or the Ash blocking me from, say, the Ash got my guttering falling down because it's too heavy. The Ash got this game, the Ash got, you ain't gonna let yourself get to that state. But I just feel like if you word some questions differently, it was so more intelligent. That's the
That
question.
is it.
You know, a journalist, I wouldn't think to like ask that question. Like, I would probably go find a different way to word. Even if I wanted to know the answer to that question, you would word that differently.
Because of the Janelle was saying that, but based on what I read, it seemed as though it was a lot of mixed information that you would have been getting out of your press conference. So people would have had to draw their own conclusion. And I think that if he could have worded the question in such a way to say that, like we are, he could have actually had said that part about people using their common sense to make sure that they were still careful when they're doing things. So like what as the Prime Minister then, what solution then can we have put in place for persons who are like housebound people who don't have a way? Like, is the Ministry of Social Empowerment with any name no more? Oh, jeez, I did it myself. The gender affairs and thing. The one that Senti responsible for. Is this, they have those persons now who will be able, that ministry who's going to go and help these people who are living alone or whatever. That is
No,
then
that would probably have been a better question to ask.
exactly. So I do feel as though if he had phrased it much different, it would have not come out as though he wasn't thinking. And I think that that was probably how he was feeling, because I didn't watch it, but it just seemed as though it was like, you're telling me clean, you're telling me don't clean, you're telling me
You know
you're
what?
telling me wash down, you're telling me don't use the water, you're telling me only use the water to hose down the car. What you're telling me, right? So,
This is
thank
always
you,
a question.
Elder Care.
This is always a question. Error. It foolish. I felt like it was. I didn't agree with it. I feel it was a foolish question, and that's why I felt it. Because I understand that we supposed to be this
Yeah.
educated people. The average they're just supposed to know these certain things. Journalists, though the questions that them is asking the questions that everybody's want to know. These people even take polls to find out, like, yo, what do people want to know, or talk to people to find out exactly the information they want to know. Don't just ask about questions that people already addressed in the press
Yeah.
conference.
You're just recycling. Just recycling the stuff.
Recycling the question, asking the books.
But there's the thing here, right? You see, Frico here so saying, and Shari saying the same thing, and that's what I wanted to say. Basically, I feel like if Barbadians does want the government to read, write, and spell for them, so that I can say they want here, wake up on mornings, go and wash your face and brush your teeth, present yourself for breakfast, go and bare your skin, go and get ready for work. It seems as if they want a list of how to operate rather than use sense. Like I said, Eden Lodge is a place that you cannot do any cleaning, because with how the people that traverse through there, you are wasting your time. The government will have to intervene there, or the people go come together somehow and find a solution. I don't know what solution they will find, but in an area where that you live in a specific cul-de-sac that traffic doesn't flow that much, common sense can tell you, there's gonna be an increase in water. So you know what? Let me just give myself a little wash down here, and I only doing it once a day. As she said, don't go and wash your car 3 and 4 times. That's silly.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
silly.
Yeah.
Apply the common sense and clean your heart.
For me, right?
Common sense.
For me, somebody that don't wash my car every day or whatever, right? I also had to at least rinse it off because of this ash. And I got to rinse it off because I got to leave home to go work. I got to rinse off the windshield. I got to rinse it off before this dust they come. Like, this dust, this ash so rough that when it get wet and it end up on your roof or your gutter and what's not, it hurt you. So it's so much that you got to do. I know it won't dawn on me to not go outside or to not do these things, because you have to take care of these things. But at the same time, I think that we just rely on the government for too much. I ain't saying that you shouldn't rely on the government to do certain things, but it's too much that we expect from a government to do. We as human beings, well, we gonna make decisions for ourselves.
And based on your surroundings, based on what happening for you, you would operate to suit for you. So I don't feel like, as a man, I like to clean my car often. But at this point, that's a waste of time. So you know what we gonna do? We gonna look for the things that matter, all right? I gotta make sure, as Keita said, the roofing, the guttering, all of that is important. You can't let the ash build up in there
What
for
what
them
can
to
happen
bigger
to the car
problems to
if the
your
ash
roofing.
the car? What can happen to the car if the ash car?
Well,
Cause I can tell you, like, right?
people think that the ash is going to do the car something, but it does not. What all it
Okay,
will
then
do,
the
all
sun
that
and
will
the
happen,
seawater does do more to a
right,
car
right.
than ash.
But this is the thing. Ash is like dust. Dust is conducive to electricity not conducting properly. So if it gets onto like the engine bay and stuff like that, it's just like when you carry one washing down. Like you drive for a prolonged period of time for months and you recognize, oh, the engine want washing, the engine bay want cleaning down. All you have to do is ensure that your vehicle does not get copious amounts of ash on that
Right,
engine and on the
right.
electrical parts of the vehicle.
Thank
But the
you.
ash on the body does nothing. I would say
Thank
obviously
you.
wash down your windshield because
You
visibility is
windshield,
important.
right?
Yeah,
And your
exactly.
But
mirrors
That's
outside of that,
and clean mirrors.
why would you be wasting time trying to hose off a car 3 times, 4 times a day? Yeah, we got to apply
yeah,
the common
according to
sense too. But I
that,
feel like
On
I
that's
feel like
need.
people did. I feel like people did. Feeling like the ash got in something special, so that they're frightened for the car. That's why they was covering it over. For me personally, what I would have done or what I did is I
that
just
Asher
covered
must be
I
special.
covered the drainage areas, which would be down there by you windshield wipers, and
Yeah,
also the front grill, because the front grill is the access point, sorry, to your
engine.
condenser, your radiator, and also
Right.
your engine bay itself.
Yes.
So it's just like just apply a little common sense, cover that. Oh, we ain't getting as
Incline
much
your
ash
heart
right now. Incline your heart, incline
to
it
common sense.
to little common sense.
And the clean your
So
heart to
so
common
when
sense.
I do understand why
Yeah,
people
no,
don't
no, you want
all
to say
don't know.
incline your
We
heart to common sense. You
that's
know,
it, child. People
Your
don't
little
know.
ass.
You
yeah,
know,
So
ask.
so the thing is, what I can tell people, cause I know a little bit about vehicles, I can tell people this. Yes, excess dust, excess ash is problematic for your engine bay. But what I will say is ask somebody a question rather than run off with just information that you are not sure about. Talk to a mechanic. Everybody know a mechanic. Ask a
Yep.
question. Do you think that I should do this or do you think I should do that? And move from there.
speaking of mechanics, big give you down, boy. Don't remember that.
I used to try say I really just wanted to bed and drink. Like honestly, I don't need no water to wash down no car or anything like that. I mean, people wash down the meters. You could simply wipe off them things. People hosing them down and all sort of thing. I say business like the wet man. I say, oh my god, it's just ash everywhere. You guys say to me,
My
we
main
ever
thing,
thought
though,
about
my
we
main
ever
thing,
thought about men that decided to create a lot of business offer pressure washer services. No, but yeah,
that
Kiva,
yeah.
you
that is a niche
No, I was
market.
just
They
saying
found a
before.
need.
The main thing for me was the guttering and the house, like the drainage water for the roof, because you know the ash line on the roof, and when the rain had fell initially, that water ran down into the guttering, but when it settled there,
Right.
it got thick, and that when that ash
Like
actually
cement.
when that ash gets thick, it is very much like cement, and
Mm-hmm.
it starts to harden. And like, for me getting there, I just feel as though I the clearance I was actually scooping up cement. I'm playing it, but you would be surprised
I
how much
don't mind that.
the guttering, like the nails and the guttering started to come up because it was so heavy that guttering was leaning down. Like that, it does.
That's it. And that's what's
It does.
happening in St. Vincent. Persons' houses were caving in from the weight
wait,
of
yeah,
ash.
Yeah.
So that's why I understand the importance because obviously I can't go up on top of my roof. For one, I downstairs anyways. But
Okay.
when but if I was a homeowner, I would definitely have to get some person to come and do that. But
right,
you know, before we go, because we can soon gonna go off anyways. Chad
yeah,
is always talk about solutions, right? And it's something that I hold very dear to my heart as a solution to this here. Before this happened, this is something that I had already had intention of. Now, when I build, the same way I will have a water tank to collect fresh water, I will also have a smaller water tank to collect
collect
rainwater.
rainwater,
And
yeah,
you use that rainwater for flushing the toilet. You can actually have your system set up in such a way that the rainwater
yep,
to flush the toilet. You have your rainwater there to use for your plants and your rainwater to wash the vehicles, wash it. Say you host at Christmas time or whatever. And
I
those are
won't say wash. I won't say wash with rainwater, but yeah,
Yeah, I
I
won't
get
say
it.
that either. But your
even
heart
in
is in the
this
right place, so I don't need to tell you incline your heart. You good. You
thanks, man.
good.
But yeah, but I think that those are solutions now going forward. We gotta see well Christmas if it's got rain between heavy rainfall between May and December. I mean I'm looking forward to May. I'm hoping that the rain starts to fall early.
And that's the
But
high time that I'm ain't gonna come.
cheese non brothers, you know? But
That's how it's
if
always work.
we should be looking to change how we do things around our homes. You don't need no fresh water to wet your plants. You're telling people to have your produce or whatever. It don't need your irrigation system ain't gonna be set up so you're no pipe water. People want that water to bathe and to cook with or whatever. Because I'm bathing the rainwater. But I'm just saying, right? We need to change how we do things. So that's something that we should be looking for, looking towards doing for ourselves. Definitely going and getting
Yeah,
something to
but
collect water in to
yeah,
as a
but
solution to
the water boy here, borny, but the really
it
well
is.
water
It
test
is.
for sure.
Definitely. And that's how like our water is different to what St. Vincent will be getting. Ignore the ringing in the back. I know get landing, so my mother
Oh,
knows
wow.
my mother call me.
You are
Yeah.
known. You are a known adult. You got a lot of link. You got a lot of link.
As a grandmother, no gosh, but I ain't a grandmother, but I just say, right?
You got a lot of link enough to use it adult.
I'm an adult. I'm an adult. I'm an adult. But yeah, so we same so like Saint Vincent, they always will have issues with water. Saint Vincent, Saint Lucia, our water collect. We get water that will collect in our artesian wells and stuff like that. They don't
Mm.
get water to collect because their soil underneath is not permeable at all. It's
Yeah,
volcanic, so
right,
the water
right.
is seeping through. You know. So what we do have, we could there take care of it though. Like don't think that it can be there forever because it's not. It's dependent on and then like now when the earth is so dry and now we got ash now in the earth. What do you think that happens to the first sets of rain and water get run off again? So we can
Mm.
still be back at square one again next year, the same time.
Talking
People
fast. You're talking fast.
suffering. People are
You're
going to be
talking
suffering.
fast. It's true.
Like St. George is got water, we know water don't go off like other parts of the island. But I still gotta be cognizant of the fact that I got people in St. Joseph's that ain't had a bath in days. I think that we all
Yeah,
water was
boy.
off in St. Andrew has got that issue too.
Yep.
And see? No, so we got
I grew up with the bucket life. The bucket
I grew
life.
up
And imagine how much harder it is for somebody that tall. You gotta bend down and catch you walk, by the time you get here, it ain't nothing.
It's fact. That's a fact.
Ain't nothing. It's bare foolishness.
You, you got
I sorry.
you got more body to bed, and you share more water. You understand? So in the bucket. So
I
the
got
bucket.
said the show wanna do it. I can't back there though. I can show one of this thing here.
But when he
Yeah.
come back, right, I was wondering because based on my experiences in the islands, and there was this song that I grew up listening to called "It's a Paradise." Y'all can check it out by Ronnie D. He's a man who was working at NCF for years. Janelle will know him, but
Mm.
the song
It's a
it's a paradise.
paradise. This
Paradise, the
country
country
that
that
we
we
live
live
in.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ain't know
I know.
Nikita, but in his song,
Things
he
could
spoke
be
about the
worse,
fact
you
that
must agree.
that
That
we
Barbadians
Bajans
really
really
live in the
live
best
in the best
country.
country.
Yeah, so you got saying here, Sophie, people, right?
Before you show
I
me,
know if
wait,
uh,
Chad, I just want to finish the point
oh yeah,
that
sorry, go ahead.
the Caribbean islands, because of their water issues, them is shut off the water at particular points. Me and Barbados never experienced that. Like, well, we did in like real dire times, but we can get to that point if we're not careful. Where you go, the water can be on between 5 and 7 in the morning, and between 8 and 9 midnight, and that's the only time you could do whatever. You could catch water, you could bathe or whatever before they turn off the water here. So when I incline with our hearts to common sense and understand to stop
And
it, stop
play
wasting
with a
water.
heart
It's true.
of common sense, man.
Right? Stop
And
it now.
play with a heart
So
of
you got
common
saying here so that
Yes,
made with
yes.
100% aloe juice. Right, but it also is a detoxifying and volcanic ash shampoo. Too soon? Too
Yeah.
soon?
So,
But
too soon, Chad.
but
Too soon.
No, I don't think so because all that ash that we collecting in them bags that Beijing's looking to dump, I done already tell me something to make some soaps and thing. Here when I make a sport and claiming the hearts of common sense, use what we got, but here we just got import that, we get for free.
Listen,
We get for free.
I hear somebody say that
somebody.
might plant some fancy some substance with that ash boy.
Yeah, that's gonna be good for the medical marijuana whenever it start
Right,
here in
right.
Barbados.
Not right now though. No can nobody don't go trying to don't take the marijuana right now from them mixing
She
Vincent
got the
because
marijuana.
on
She
the
got the marijuana.
nah, nobody wanna thing. But Shari still
Correct.
up people selling ash. I actually saw the Saturday or the Sunday. I saw people posting with people on Facebook saying that the ash collect straight from the straight like this people the ground or nothing. And Nikita say
Raw,
send it
raw
already
ash.
Google Benson like clear like we let's use these things to real fighters, yeah. We get this for free. Furthermore, when you got seduction thing, the man has got the volcanic necklaces and thing. Hello. No, sometimes don't sleep on these ideas. Contact me so yeah, I get all the ideas. We got solutions for every problem.
What the fuck?
I try to go he on shampoo and he can start that snow
All
with the
right. It
volcanic.
natural. It natural.
But you see,
For dull, congested hair, purify, illuminate, exotic, volcanic,
So
ash,
so
citrusy
this
bergamot oil, zesty ginger extract.
so the
You
volcanic ash
fuck
exotic.
with me, people. You know I got it.
you got it.
So the volcanic ash exotic.
Exotic, brother.
That's just like what just like
Where you
invasive
get volcanic ash from? Let me hear.
So they got a lot of exotic things
a
that
lot of exotic things. A lot of exotic things. You
Yeah,
see,
very
like Shari just
exotic.
saying, we getting this ash for free. You ain't had to pay no import duties nor no VAT nor nothing. Hello, we ain't got you. I have like I got lemongrass out there that covered with ash. You want to use that there so to make you the same shampoos and stuff like that. Hey, let me go get you that. He brushing his teeth with the same ash.
I was wondering
Wash
if
you when
that
he
could
got
get
sore
add to a
throat.
toothpaste.
Because people using charcoal now. That's a big thing. People using
Yeah.
charcoal.
uh, yeah,
I
that,
You
try
can
what
you can
the sore
hear you can
throat.
hear in the next couple of months that volcanic ash is really good for gingivitis and receding gum lines and all kind of thing.
All right then. People walking about covering the head from the ash and try got a whole shampoo there. So
make the
All
ash
right
work for
then.
them and don't work for the
make
ash.
it work.
Make it work
Make
for
it
Hello.
them.
work.
And claim my hearts of common sense, man. There you go.
Incline with a heart to common sense.
You know
That
what's
is
crazy? I
that
not
Exactly,
recognize that
guys.
this here so named Marine Moisture. That's
that's on the
actually
way.
the place in
That's
Hawaii. Yeah, cause you know Hawaii
Hawaii.
got volcanoes.
Yes. All I know, my friend here want to know if it come from the way, man.
It's no
The
mineral oil, no
the Hawaiians are
silicones,
not white.
no parabens, no gluten, no SLS, no sulfated surfactants, no synthetic dye, no oils. Yes, it is vegan. Yes, it is eco-friendly. Yes, it is pure coconut water. Yes, it is pure aloe juice. I don't want to come for the ash shampoo. When the hair grow, when the struggle with hair growth, check me. Check
I need
me.
some moisture, man. But Lori here so saying that nobody can break because
I find a
I
young
mean
boy to do man. That
we need
moisture
to
man.
support our own. We need to cut it out. Stop importing and support what we got. Support in the region. You want import. Look, we get to import from St. Vincent for free. That's what it should be. I have a test, but I didn't have to use it right to come in real strong to the about regional integration. But
Yeah, but before we go, any final thoughts for anybody?
Man, for me, I just want to reiterate what we spoke on before. We gotta try and help out we brothers and sisters next door. Let me do it in we own small way. We may not have a lot, but we got something. If you can, please go forward. If you could donate something, donate. Whether it is money, whether it's clothing, toiletries, etc.
water.
Let we all come together and help we one another, man. We gotta do it. We gotta do better. We gotta do something. So, well, Shafet, I have to put it on, chicken. Man, I'll Media Productions. Cool yourself, man. We ain't dealing with that, so
But
So,
yeah, so but I echo Chad. Definitely, I am big on the
gives you
supporting
sick in the
our
ear.
fellow man,
My mom got
supporting our fellow man.
AstraZeneca.
we
Yeah,
gotta
that,
ask
y'all could go
about
out and get that vaccine. I don't want to talk about that too. The fact that that this can turn into a
what
booster
you
shot every year, so when I could go out and get one a yearly supply. Anyways, I digress again.
Yeah.
But
all right for
definitely
me,
supporting St. Vincent, all the efforts,
yeah.
whatever we can do.
As y'all can see so far, in the top of the screen and at the bottom, there's the information for the fund at FCAB is actually at the rendezvous branch. That's actually the Emergency Disaster Relief Fund, what we are calling the St. Vincent Relief Fund. And you can actually donate towards that monetarily, or you can actually donate via the Pink Box program. And there's a list of items that you can actually contribute to donate towards St. Vincent. All right. Also, always remember, um, we are our brother's keepers, so we definitely got to look out for these people because you never know when it could be you or when it could be your turn. We need somebody to go for it. And it's so real. But especially in these times, know where anything possibly could happen. Things happening left, right, and center. You don't know what you're looking at. Yo, you gotta keep it real.
Yeah,
Also,
man.
take a little time to diffuse situations if you only get after this podcast first. Because, yo, remember Chad mentioned that he had a little situation yesterday, how he had hot. Take your time sometimes, diffuse the situation, and look at the
Yeah.
whole police.
Talk to somebody. Talk to
That's
somebody.
the way.
Find an outlet.
Don't wait too late.
Accountability, people. Accountability is the word of the week.
Yes, to
Accountability.
yourself and to
Yeah.
others.
For sure. But lastly, I want to say a big thank you to everybody. A big thank you to the sponsors. A big thank you to Barely Sober Entertainment. A big thank you to Alonsi Media Production. A
Yeah.
big thank you to Me First Mobile Massage Therapy. A big
Yeah.
thank you to Steve Bell. And
Yeah.
a big thank you to Trade Barber
We
Studio.
need you back, dog. We need you.
Trade Cut Barber
We
Studio.
need you
Everything,
like
for
never
sure.
before, boy.
All right. All right.
You like never before. Yeah,
Sister.
boy, Freddie coming out like that. Let me hold a show for Drew. Don't let me come together and hold a show.
And you know
Yeah.
that we are supposed to be outside by Kita and all kind of thing for the after parties and Ash got the place
Ash,
with the
boy.
Yeah. Not even the
boy.
actual.
The just ain't
No,
want Kita to be great. The man
no,
want this after party by
no.
Kita to be great at all.
Man, we asking Pokemon. You real bad. My Ash here come for true. This Ash
Yeah.
rough. And I want to actually get in the chat, man, for keeping it real with me every
For
single
Yeah,
sure.
we appreciate one of
every
man
single
every single
yeah,
time.
we appreciate one for sure, boy. Look,
Yeah, we
for
got
me,
steady people that's always come through and
Yeah,
even
but
when they don't come through, there's
yeah,
always apologize. They say, man, I sorry couldn't make it live, but we
yeah,
appreciate one of you.
I
We
want to
really
do some
appreciate one of
energy, man.
Yeah,
Just give me
Shari,
some
you will get the coconut
but
water, coconut
others,
ash water.
please invite your friends, tell your friends to tell their friends every Thursday here on Instagram at 8 o'clock on the Anchor Podcast. On YouTube, you can find the follow up videos. Do
yeah.
not sleep on this podcast.
As you know,
We want you.
as Janelle mentioned before, sorry, Janelle, you can also reach out to us to be on the podcast as well.
Right.
We willing to accept anybody that so you want to jump on with us
Let's
and
come
share some
on.
topics. So we could discuss some topics outside of what we have right now. So you can come ahead and kick it with us and
Come
discuss some
forward.
Come
Come
topics we
forward.
want to discuss. We will kick it with you, talk with you, break down some topics, break down some points, get a greater understanding of how things work. And we can get some knowledge together that we do every single week on this podcast. So reach out, link me up, hit me up. You know where the address is. You know the Instagram. You know the IG. You know the everything. You know YouTube. You know the Anchor. We even got a
We
Twitter
got a
page.
new sponsor.
You can follow me on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? We got so much things you can reach out to me. But here we. But I want to say good night, folks. A big thank you to
Good
Yeah, man.
everyone.
night.
Love
Good
for the
night, everybody.
Thank
Enough
you. Love
respect.
you guys. After party.